Today, the video you're about to watch isn't just a story. It is a real moment of terror, a moment where the line between human and shadow completely disappeared. Today, you are about to witness the secret that makes people shiver to their core the moment they hear the name of this road. Cameron had spent most of his life on empty highways, but there was something different about this particular night. The clock on his dashboard showed 2:13 a.m., the hour when silence becomes heavier and darkness turns almost alive. His 18-wheeler hummed steadily beneath him as it rolled along Highway 17, a long stretch of road known among truckers for being quiet, isolated, and disturbingly unpredictable after midnight. The world outside his windshield felt abandoned. No cars had passed him for almost an hour. No lights shone from any distant house. Only dense forests hugged both sides of the road, their black silhouettes waving slowly with the cold wind. It wasn't the kind of night where a man felt sleepy. It was the kind where he felt watched. Cameron kept the radio on low, but even that failed to distract him. Every static hiss from the radio felt like a whisper. Every flicker of the dashboard light felt like something shifting in the dark. As a trucker, he was used to solitude, but tonight the emptiness felt sharper, like a warning in the air. He checked his side mirrors out of habit, expecting nothing except the dark road behind him. But the darkness felt thicker than usual, almost like a curtain following him. The forest seemed to swallow sound. The hum of the engine felt too loud, too alone. His fingers tapped the steering wheel nervously. With no signal on his phone, boredom and unease mixed inside him. So he opened his offline notes where he saved creepy Reddit threads from the dark web trucker community. Stories shared only by people who drove at impossible hours and saw things normal people never would. He didn't know that tonight. One of those stories was about to become his own. Cameron scrolled through the hidden folder in his phone where he kept screenshots of unsettling posts from the dark web trucker forum, a secret space where truck drivers from across the world anonymously shared the kinds of experiences they couldn't report to their companies or speak about on normal Reddit threads. Strange sightings, disappearing vehicles, voices heard on empty highways, things that followed them at night. Most of the time, Cameron read these stories for thrill, not believing half of them. But tonight, as the road stretched endlessly in front of him, he felt an unusual pull, like something wanted him to read now. He tapped on a thread titled, "Do Not Stop at Mile Marker 54. The title alone made his stomach tighten. He didn't remember saving this one. The thread opened slowly, as if resisting being read, and the first line was chilling. "If you're reading this, it's already too late." Cameron frowned. The post had no username, just a blank profile icon, meaning the account was either deleted or never existed. The next line punched his breath out. "Truck driver, Cameron A. You will see her tonight." His fingers froze on the screen. His name, his exact spelling. He never shared his full name online, especially not on any dark web platform. The thread continued describing a pale woman who appeared at mile marker 54, waving at trucks to stop. Drivers claimed she vanished if ignored, but reappeared closer, faster each time, until she was right beside the window. No footsteps, no sound. Cameron's throat went dry as he read the final warning. "Do not answer her if she speaks your name. She knows it because she has already chosen you." A cold tremor moved down his spine. That's when his truck dashboard beeped. He was approaching mile marker 54. Cameron stared at the screen, unable to blink. His own name, Cameron A., stood boldly in the middle of that dark web thread, as if someone had typed it just seconds before he opened it. His pulse thudded in his ears. He tried convincing himself that it must be a coincidence, maybe a different Cameron, maybe a random guess. But there was no denying it. The spelling, the initial, everything matched exactly. He scrolled up and down the thread, hoping to find something, an update time, an edit mark, a clue, but the post showed no timestamp, no username, no comments, nothing. It was as if the thread existed only for him, and that impossibility made his hands tremble on the steering wheel. The truck's dashboard lights flickered, casting strange shadows across the cab. Cameron swallowed hard. With his other hand, he refreshed the page. For a split second, it vanished and reloaded, and his breath caught when the line mentioning his name shifted position, almost like it was rewriting itself. Now it read, "Cameron, you're getting close." He dropped the phone onto the passenger seat, heart hammering. This wasn't normal. Threads didn't change words by themselves. They didn't address people directly. And they certainly didn't read your location. Cameron hurriedly. As the numbers on the highway posts counted upward, Cameron felt his heartbeat counting with them. 52, 53. Each mile felt heavier, like the air itself thickened as he approached the one place the thread had warned him about. When mile marker 54 finally appeared in the headlights, Cameron instinctively slowed down, though he didn't remember moving his foot. The road was empty, the forest pitch black, but something felt wrong, and pressure, an invisible weight in the air. And then he saw her. At first she looked like a distant shape, barely human, standing motionless at the side of the highway. But as the truck inched closer, her details sharpened unnaturally fast, like the darkness itself was revealing her piece by piece. She wore a long, torn white dress that fluttered without any wind. Her skin was pale in a sickly, unnatural way, almost glowing. Her hair was soaking wet, strands stuck to her face, though Cameron couldn't see her features clearly. Her head was tilted slightly, as if she had been waiting. Just waiting. When the truck reached her, she stepped forward. Not walking, not running. Just appearing closer, the distance collapsing impossibly fast. Cameron's stomach twisted when he realized. Her feet weren't touching the ground. As his headlights swept over her face, he finally saw it. A black void where her eyes should have been, like two burnt holes staring into him. Yet she turned her head following his truck, as if she could see perfectly. The engine roared as Cameron pressed the accelerator, desperate to escape. But in the side mirror, her white silhouette slid along the road beside him, keeping pace with a 40-ton truck as easily as a shadow. The thread hadn't lied. He had seen her, and now, she had seen him too. Cameron's hands were shaking on the steering wheel as he sped away from mile 54. His breath came in short, panicked bursts. Every instinct told him not to look into the mirrors again, not to check if she was still there, not to acknowledge what he saw. But then his phone vibrated. A single notification lit the dark cabin with a cold blue glow. At first he ignored it, assuming it was a signal reconnecting or some random spam. But the vibration didn't stop. It came again, and again, like something urgently trying to get his attention. Against his better judgment, he glanced at the screen. His blood froze. Incoming call, mile marker 54 woman. The name wasn't saved in his contacts. No caller ID should look like that. No phone should be able to label a caller like that. The phone kept ringing, the caller name pulsing brighter each time, as if forcing him to read it. Cameron grabbed the phone with trembling fingers and hit decline. The call ended for half a second. Then it rang again. Same name. Same number. Unknown. Only now the profile icon was different. It wasn't blank anymore. It showed her face, the eyeless, burned black sockets staring directly at him, as if the camera had captured her at that exact moment on the road. Cameron threw the phone onto the dashboard, heart racing. But the ringing grew louder, echoing unnaturally inside the truck, as if the sound wasn't coming from the device, but from inside the cabin itself. Finally, the ringing stopped. For a moment, there was silence. Then a text appeared on the screen by itself, without any notification sound. Why didn't you stop for me, Cameron? He felt his throat close. He had never told anyone his name on the road tonight. But she knew it, and now she had his number. Cameron pressed the accelerator with all the force he had. The truck roared down the empty highway, tires screeching as the massive vehicle gained speed. The speedometer climbed 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. Any normal person, any normal creature, would have disappeared from his mirrors by now. But she didn't. In the side mirror, her white silhouette drifted beside the truck. Not running, not walking, but sliding across the air like a ghost pulled by invisible strings. Her feet dangled inches above the asphalt. Her dress fluttered against a wind that didn't exist. And her head stayed locked toward Cameron's window, those black, hollow eye sockets fixed on him with terrifying precision. Every time the truck rattled or swerved, she adjusted instantly. Her movement unnatural, too smooth, too controlled. She wasn't following the truck. She was matching it, matching the exact speed of an 18-wheeler flying across the highway. Cameron couldn't bring himself to look directly at her, but he couldn't stop glancing at the mirrors either. It was as if her presence forced itself into his vision. Closer and closer. At one point, she drifted up higher, until her face was level with the driver's side window. Her long wet hair whipped back, revealing more of her ruined face. Scorched skin, burned lips, no eyes, yet she stared straight into him. Then she lifted one hand. Her fingers scraped the side of the truck door without touching it. Sparks of cold white light flickered where her hand passed, like she was phasing through reality itself. Cameron's breath broke as she mouthed something silently. A word. His name. And then, in an instant, she vanished, leaving the highway darker than before. But Cameron knew she wasn't gone. The silence felt like she had only changed positions, waiting somewhere else. When dawn finally broke over Highway 17, the world looked calm again. Soft sunlight touching the trees, mist rising from the asphalt. A maintenance worker driving his small utility van was the first to see it. Cameron's massive 18-wheeler parked perfectly in the middle of the road, engines still running, headlights dimming in the morning light. The worker approached cautiously. "Hello? Anyone there?" he called out. No answer. The driver's door hung open, swinging gently in the cold morning breeze. The seat was empty, the seatbelt dangling loosely as if it had been unbuckled moments earlier. Cameron's coffee was still warm in the cup holder. His jacket lay neatly folded on the passenger seat. His phone sat in the center console, screen cracked, yet glowing. But Cameron himself was nowhere. No footprints. No struggle. No sign of where he went. The worker, now uneasy, climbed into the truck and picked up the phone. The screen displayed a single note, one that hadn't been there before. Just one sentence. He stopped. The next page opened automatically, as if the phone itself wanted the message read. Now he belongs to mile 54. The worker's hands shook as he stepped down from the cab. When he walked around to check the back of the truck, he froze. On the dusty back door, written in long black streaks, like smeared ash or burnt fingers, was a final message. Don't take this road at night. She chooses one driver every dawn. The highway patrol arrived an hour later. They searched the entire stretch of forest on both sides. Dogs, drones, teams of men. They found nothing. Cameron never reappeared. But every night after that, truckers started reporting the same thing. At mile marker 54, a woman in white waiting by the road, tilting her head, as if asking, "Are you the next one?" If you're still watching this, it means you survived. What most people can't even bear to hear. But remember, the road never forgets the ones who dare to listen to its secrets. Before you leave this dark highway, hit subscribe, because the next story might test your courage too. Stay awake. Stay alive.